Hey friends, welcome to the Messed Up the Setups podcast. I'm comedian Michael Halcomb, and in this episode we got John Floyd back with us. He's gonna bring a joke. We're gonna hear about it and work on it, maybe workshop it, whatever. You're not gonna want to miss some spontaneous jokes as well, so stick around.
It's all messed up, yeah, everything's messed up. We're going from this mess up to the next setup. Everything seems so messed up, but it's just our setup.
Hey everybody, this is the Messed Up the Setups podcast, and I'm glad to have John Floyd back. John, good to see you, brother.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Yeah, so we got two North Carolinians on the podcast here. And I'm excited for this one because you're going to bring us a premise or a joke or something. Then I have some joke prompts, some random joke prompts. We'll see if we can just make up some stuff on the spot.
Right.
See where that goes. But yeah, start us off, man. You got a premise, you got a joke. What do you got for us?
You talking about something I'm still working on or something that I've been doing for years or
You can bring one or the other, or you can do both. Like
something I got really frustrated the other day because I was trying to pay a bill online. I won't say the name of the companies, but it's probably places we all pay bills to, big companies. I do it every single month from the same computer. It's just what I'm sitting at right now, but I don't mind when they say put in your account number, then put in your name, then put in your password and put in your username, all that. But then when they want to call you and text you a little code to make sure that it's you, I want to say, this is my computer. I'm on my account and I'm trying to pay my bill. I promise it's me. I don't think that anybody's going to steal my laptop and go, wait a minute, let's pay this guy's bills. I'm kind of working on that. I think I need to punch it up a little bit. That's like my latest little thought. I was like, okay, there's a bit here because I was getting really frustrated. And my wife kind of got annoyed with me that I was getting so frustrated, because I was sitting right behind her while I was doing it. And I just kept going at the computer trying to, and then it's telling me, we don't have this username or whatever. And then I try to type in, the password again, or not the password, my email or whatever. And then, that's already in our system. Like, you just said it wasn't. And it just things like, I think I'm getting old. I'm becoming like an old curmudgeon.
Right.
I don't know, but
so yeah, there's a lot of frustration in the process, right?
Absolutely.
So this is, I'm assuming, based on a true story.
Yes, like I said, yeah. Just a few days ago, I was trying to pay some bills, and they kept asking me. And even though I'm on my computer paying, trying to pay my bill, I'm like, nobody's going to hack into my computer or steal my computer and pay my bills.
Right.
So just stop me. I can understand, to do the username and the password. That's fine. I understand that. But then when they want to text you a code on top of that, I'm like, come on. I mean, it'd be easier to get into Fort Knox.
Yeah, right.
Than it would to pay my Duke Energy bill.
And it's like I'm not. What do you think? Like every month, I end up sending my bill to a Nigerian scammer.
Exactly. Yeah.
They're not gonna pay anything. So yeah, I love that tension between like it makes sense that they want to log in and a password, but it doesn't make sense how difficult they make it, right?
Exactly. Yeah, the whole texting me a code that just drives me nuts. I'm like, what's the point? Is my username and password not enough? I mean, what's the point of that if they're going to text me a code anyway?
And it's like the questions too, right? What's your username? What's your password? What's your birthday? What's your account number? What's the name of the high school girlfriend you still think about?
Yeah. And then what's your mother's maiden name? Oh, speaking of your mother, have you called her lately? I mean, it's just
right.
Yeah. And the worst, I don't know if this has ever happened to you because I had to get a new phone maybe a year or so ago, and I had to change my phone number. And I went into a bunch of accounts, and they were wanting to text me a code, but they still had my old phone number, so I couldn't get into my account to give them my new phone number.
Oh, dude.
It was, George Clooney and Brad Pitt can make another Ocean's 11 movie just trying to get into their account with the city of Raleigh or Duke Energy or whoever.
Yeah, I like that. I love the ability to just heighten this joke, right? Because it starts off so sort of benign, like we've all been there.
Right.
But then like the frustration just gets heightened. You can do it with the questions that, go from the normal questions to just like absurd questions that it's asking you, or yeah, the breaking Fort Knox comparisons.
Right.
Yeah, I love that. Like I think there's a lot to work on.
That's my favorite thing is when I like to make people think, oh, yeah, I've noticed that too, but I thought I was the only person who noticed how stupid it was. Or, "Oh, yeah, that just happened to me the other day." I love it when somebody's not only laughing, sitting in the front row, they're also kind of nodding their head like, yep,
Right,
yeah, that's
right.
happened to me too. That's always a great feeling.
Yeah. Do you find that like most of your jokes are they birthed out of these sort of life experiences? Like
A lot of it
where
is,
they
and I do a lot of personal stuff. I do a lot of ton of self-deprecating humor. But yeah, then just little things like that that I've noticed that just drive me crazy. And sometimes I think, how can I be the only person to notice how stupid this is? I can't, can't. And sometimes I think maybe, like I said, I'm just becoming old curmudgeon, and maybe I just need to not let it bother me so much. But that's, it's being on stage doing comedy sometimes is really good therapy because you just get to
right.
vent in front
Yeah.
of an audience instead of paying somebody to lay down on the couch and say the same stuff to 'em.
It's just rant.
Yeah,
I just had another thought. You go through all that, and they have the submit button. The buttons are funny to me. Like
yeah,
a back button, a submit button. Um, but the hardest one to find is like cancel my service button. Right.
that's true. And then and then even if you try to, or if you're like trying to unsubscribe from some email you get, and
Right.
then you hit the unsubscribe, and then it'll say, "Are you sure?"
Yeah.
Like it just, just like just being really condescending, like, "Yes, I'm sure."
Or when you hit the worst too, when you hit unsubscribe from some list and then it immediately sends you an email saying you're unsubscribed.
Right.
Uh, it's like the
I
stupidest
know. And then
thing.
somehow they sneak in and keep sending you emails anyway, just under a different, I don't know
Right.
how they do it, but they do.
Oh man. Yeah, so I think that's pretty funny. I think you got some something to work with there. Yeah, well very cool. So thanks for bringing that. I love to like hearing the origin stories of jokes, like where a joke actually came from. So that's good stuff. Well, let's do some random joke generators. And some people I've had on here super quick at this, some are slow, so it doesn't matter. It's just fun to try to do. I'll pull up this on the screen here, and if you're watching, you're able to see this. Of course, if you're just listening, you're not. If you go to my website, michaelhalcom.live, we got a daily blog there. Like I said, the podcast drops twice a week on here. It's all about comedy, this blog. And if you go over under the social tab, you'll see a number of links. Down at the bottom of that, there are 3 links. They all say the Joke Writers Lab. One's an online course I've done. You can get that. The other's a Facebook group. But then the very last one is joke writing exercises. And if you click that, a page is going to open. And I've coded here, like, what is it? 4, 8, 12, 15 buttons. If you click them, you can do joke writing exercises. It's really fun just to get the like, the juices going. Like, I don't know, it's kind of creative. So here's one: jokes from headlines. And what this dynamic news prompt generator I coded does, when you hit generate prompt, it fetches a headline from a live newspaper or news source today. So these are all like what's happening in the news today. El Palestino, more than a club. That's literally a news headline somewhere today. El Palestino, more than a
I don't
club.
even know what that means, but I wonder who books that club.
Right? Who's the booker?
Uh,
El Palestino, more than a club.
what
All
is
I
that?
know is there's a
I don't even,
protest
what
coming.
is, I mean, I don't, yeah, I don't quite get that, but
Yeah. Oh, all I know, yeah, there's going to be a protest about it at Harvard soon.
probably,
Uh,
oh, probably.
let's see. Yeah, see if we can do one more here. Some of the some of these are all terrible headlines, dude. Masked neo Nazis march through Arkansas community. Masked neo Nazis march through Arkansas community.
Huh. I wonder what they were up to. I don't know. Maybe they were masked because they didn't want to get recognized by their cousin wife or something in Arkansas. I don't
Yes.
know.
Oh, that's great, dude. Ma- Mass neo Nazis marched through Arkansas community. In response, Americans said, "Where's Arkansas again?"
Yeah.
um, yeah, let's look at so that's one, just jokes from headlines. We have jokes from cliches. I like this one. It's finish the setup. Now, what I did here is I took thousands of jokes that have been used by like comedians. I cut the punchline off and left the setup. And so the generator here pulls a setup from somewhere, and now our job is to try to, uh, find, come up with our own punchline for it. Yeah. So it's being reported that California needs to raise $3 billion by March. So that's the setup. The idea is to try to finish with a punchline. It's being reported that California needs to raise $3 billion by March, or Gavin Newsom's threatening to stay.
Yeah. So 2 people in Beverly Hills can sell their houses,
Yeah,
and
right.
that'd be $3 billion right there.
Let's see. Um, my imaginary friend grew up to become my imaginary strength and conditioning coach.
In both cases, people don't actually believe that he's there.
Right. My imaginary friend grew up to become my imaginary strength and conditioning coach, to tell me about the imaginary good health I'm in.
Exactly. To tell you that,
That's
I can only imagine that I'm eating some Doritos.
setup here is funny, dude. The setup
Yeah,
is
exactly, yeah, that's a pretty good line right there, even with
Yesterday, Tim Tebow, the Denver Broncos quarterback, who thanks Jesus after all his wins, finally lost. Gosh.
God, I don't wanna touch that one. I
Denver
like old
Bron
Tim Tebow.
Yeah. He seems like a good dude.
Absolutely.
Um, the Denver Broncos quarterback who thanks Jesus after all his wins finally lost. Oh man, yeah, this one's a challenge. Tim Tebow, Denver Broncos quarterback, thanks Jesus
I'm
after all his
thinking of
wins.
some things, but, I mean, they're kinda mean, and I don't wanna, 'cause it's something that's been discussed before. Why do athletes thank God when they win, but when they lose, they never blame
Right,
God?
right,
So, and I don't think that God is up there. I don't think he has a preference as to who wins
right,
and who
right.
loses.
Yeah, who thanks Jesus after all his wins finally lost. Something about taking a knee. I don't
Oh,
know.
that's a good one.
Well, let's I like those. Let's do another one here. Jokes from cliches. This one's kind of easy. It just pulls up a cliche and we see if we can make a joke about it, like a king's ransom. Some of these I'm not that familiar with. It just pulls these random cliches, but yeah, like gone but not forgotten cliche there.
I guess that's better than being gone but forgotten.
Gone but not forgotten. Yep. Um, Gone but not forgotten.
Yeah, there are a lot
Um,
of dumb cliches, especially in the South. People like to say, like, you're working like a dog. I never ever understood that because I have a dog and I've never seen a dog put in a hard day's work at all. So I don't know where that expression came from.
the grass is always greener on the other side, unless you're my neighbor. His grass has oil spots.
Brown and needs to be cut.
Right.
The grass
Unless you're
is
my
much greener on the other side, so I'm gonna call the HOA and complain why
yeah.
somebody
There you go.
lawn looks better than mine.
Yeah. Take it or leave it.
How about neither?
What was it?
Take it or leave it. I mean, how about neither? How about if I get to yeah, it's like have your cake
um,
and eat it too. I don't know, just
what you
it's
don't
tough.
want to hear at the adoption office?
What do you not wanna hear at the oh, okay, I get it. That's a good one.
Words you don't want to hear at the
Yeah,
adoption office?
yeah,
Take it or
or
leave it.
something you don't wanna hear the waitress say when she brings you your food.
That's right. Yep. Get one's goat.
I've heard
State
that, but
motto
I
of West
yeah.
Virginia.
Exactly.
Um, yeah, let's do a couple more here. That to have a gammy leg. Have you ever heard this?
Is that I mean, I've heard, like, somebody talking about their leg kinda getting gaming up on them or something like that, or does it mean like your grandmother? Because some people might call their grandmother a gammy, maybe like you're getting old and kinda, like, walking slow like she does.
Yeah, I've never heard this
Yeah, I
idiom.
haven't really I've heard something about it, but not a whole lot. I'm not sure.
Uh,
Upsy Daisy, it makes me think of Chris Farley.
let's see. Let's do one more here. In seventh heaven.
Actually, I never thought about that either. What about the first 6?
Right. Is that like the worst level of heaven?
I
Um,
thought I always assumed it was supposed to be something good, but I'm not sure.
yes.
But yeah, I don't understand that why 7th heaven is better than the first 6 or maybe the 8th.
Yeah. Well, these are fun, dude. I like doing these. And just stuff to get the creative juices flowing. What do you I you mentioned before, like when you're writing jokes, you often write from life experiences, and that it's like things that tend to frustrate you or aggravate
Definitely.
you.
Yeah, just
Um,
things I see that get on my nerve that like made me mad at the time. So now I'm going to talk about it on stage or
i-
annoyed me at the time.
how do you train yourself to notice like that anger or frustration and then think, "Oh, I need to jot a note down."
Well, like I was saying about the paying the bills online, just things like that. I think, oh, this I might could do a bit about this. Sometimes I get mad at something, and like, no, there's just because I'm mad doesn't mean it's a bit. But like with that one, I definitely am going to toy with that and do something about it on stage.
Right. I like that idea of and it's really true in my case too. Like if I notice something that sticks out to me or makes me frustrated, I'm usually jotting a note down about it. Like
Right.
almost always. And it may sit there in that note list, like you said, I may come back to and be like, what in the world? What was I thinking? But I have found like numerous times where I've gone back, I've sat down to try to write, and I open that list and I'm like, okay, this seems like something, I could write on and give a fresh take on. Having that list is super helpful. But the other part of this is that the frustrating things is that it's already got emotion built into it, right? Um, and I feel like, when you're able to do the emotional kind of material, it's maybe a little easier to connect with people in the audience. I don't know.
Definitely. And
Yeah.
sometimes I'll see something and think, how can I be the only person to notice how stupid this is? I don't know
Right.
if it's something about the comedian mind that we notice things that other people don't, or maybe other people notice it, but they just don't let it bother. They're like, well, what's the big deal? Whereas a comedian just can't stop
Right.
talking about it, can't let it go, and they have to get on stage and complain about it. Yeah, just it is like I said, it is good therapy.
Are you like cracking jokes all the time around your wife and, in
Sometimes.
daily life, or is it
Yeah.
you just like
Sometimes I
flip
do,
it?
or sometimes I not all the time, comedians aren't on all the time, even though people
Right.
think we are. I'm sure you've had this happen. I've had people say to me sometimes when they first meet me, they say, "You don't seem like a comedian." I'm like, "Well, what do you want me to be doing?" I mean, I'm just sitting here, or I'm trying to hear the eulogy. I'm sorry, just but but but, uh but no,
Just
I'm
let
not
me
I
breathe.
certainly can, and my wife puts up with my stupid jokes and my silly we don't
Yep.
have kids, but I love dad jokes. I love stupid puns, and I can, just so it's probably a good thing we didn't have kids because 'cause I'd be driving them crazy, but I do it with my nieces and nephews now, but,
Right.
I
You know,
crack
what
the dad jokes on them or the
what do
uncle
you
jokes.
what's your response when you tell somebody you're a comedian and they go, "Tell me a joke. Tell me a
Oh,
joke."
I might say to them, "You tell me a joke," or sometimes, depending on the mood or where we are, I might tell them a little quick little joke. I've gotten to where
Yeah.
I have a couple of little quick ones in my head that I have, but yeah, sometimes when I'm one time I was going through airport security coming from a ship, and the guy asked me, what was I doing in that island? And I told him I was working on a cruise ship that I just got off of. He said, "What are you doing on the ship?" I said, "I'm a comedian." And then he said, "Tell me a joke." And I was like, "Yeah, ha ha," like, just kind of try to laugh off. And he literally was holding the stamp up like this. He said, "I'm not going to clear you until you tell me a joke."
That's a great story right
I
there.
know, it's true too. I don't remember what I told him, but I did tell him a little quick something.
Dude, being
But
held hostage over
yeah,
punchlines. That's great.
exactly. It's like I don't think that's legal, but he was gonna do it anyway.
Have you gotta turn that into a bit if you
Maybe
haven't.
so.
That's a great story, dude. The
Yeah.
guy holding you up at TSA. Um, I think I'd prefer that over the, like, being felt up, but, you know, uh, they get
Maybe.
they get a little handsy in there sometimes, but, um
Exactly.
but John, dude,
Yeah.
it's been great. This has been fun meeting with you, dude.
Yeah.
Thanks for doing this, man.
Oh, glad to do it. Thanks for having me. Hope you have me
And
back sometime.
yeah, absolutely. For those of you watching, head over to johnfloyd.com. If you're watching, you'll be able to see it on the screen right now. And you can connect with John on there, see some clips, and check out his book and all sorts of other things. Johnfloyd.com. And when you're done with that, head over to michaelhalcomb.live, and you can subscribe to the podcast that you're watching or listening to right there, michaelhalcomb.live, daily comedy blog. And then, you can follow me, connect with me on socials and that sort of thing. But this has been really fun, man. I love talking with comedians and hearing jokes and stories. This has been great. So, John, best to you as you
Thank
continue
you.
your comedy journey. And everybody, subscribe to the podcast and share this episode with your family and friends and enemies. All sorts of things. But we're gonna stop there, my friends, and say we hope that helps.
It's all messed up, yeah. Everything's messed up. We're going from this mess up to the next setup. Everything seems so messed up, but it's just our setup.